I'm John Gregg, editor of Farmtario. In this session of the Innovation Showcase at Canada's Digital Farm Show, we're looking at digital innovations. We created this category this year expressly because we're having a digital farm show. We had 2 participants this year. One of them is a company that turned to some interesting technology to be able to continue its marketing and communications with farmers during COVID-19. And the other helps farmers determine how resilient their farm is and how their soils are doing based on the use of a brand new app.
Maizex Seed figured there had to be a way to deliver the good information it shares in crop plots despite COVID-19. As a result, it created a virtual plot tour. Steve Denise, brand director at Maizex Seeds, is here to tell us about it. Welcome to the Innovation Showcase, Steve.
Thank you very much.
So first of all, tell me about Maizex Seeds and where it fits in the agriculture sector.
Sure. So Maizex Seeds is a farmer-owned Canadian company that sells corn and soybean seed across all maturities, across all parts of the country. So the original Maizex Seeds was founded by Dave and Brenda Bowdy, and we entered into a joint venture with Solio Agriculture, which had strengths in Quebec, and we had strengths elsewhere in the country 2 years ago. So Maizex Seeds now is a self-standing seed company working with Solio out of Quebec.
And then the virtual plot tour you created, how did that come about and how would you describe it?
Well, the virtual plot tour was really the result of discussions we had going back to March. So when it was evident that we were going to be in a lengthened high-risk period for COVID-19, we started having discussions about how are we going to be able to communicate with our customers and how are we going to be able to share information and share, the investment that we make in terms of research plots and agronomy plots every year. How are we going to be able to share that information in real time in a virtual format in the event that we cannot have in-person plot tours. So that was really the driving force in creating it.
Right. And can you show us a bit of that of the tour? Give us a quick run through what a producer sees if they go through your virtual plot tour.
Yeah. So we'll share the screen. All right. So we're on the home website for Maizex.com, and if you look over to the right-hand side, we've got a link there for the Maizex virtual plot tour. So what we've done once we open up the virtual plot tour page, we've actually got an introduction video to explain what we're doing, and so you can go through that tour or intro video when you first enter the web page, and then from there we basically have a map that outlines by region, whether you're talking Western Canada, Ontario, Quebec, or the Maritimes, plots and where they're at. And so we've taken some core plots where we have some of the key products that are in our portfolio today and new and upcoming products in our portfolio, as well as some of our agronomy research plots. And so we've kind of laid those out in the landscape. So if I was to blow up this map a little bit more for Ontario, for example, here we have a southwestern Ontario agronomy plot that would be located near Grand Point. And so there's information if we enter into that onto that site as an example. Then what we have is a lot of detailed information that we're updating as we go through the growing season. So we're updating CHUs weekly. We're updating the rainfall that occurs. Each plot has an introductory video at the beginning, and in this case, we've got an overview of the agronomy research that we're doing at this plot for this maturity range. If I go back to the map as an example here, and I'm going to pick a plot that's located near London, Ontario, at Peter Littlejohn. So there you'll see it's a performance and agronomy plot. We've got the hybrids that we're profiling, that we're testing there, along with the soybean varieties that are being tested. And so there, if we were to open up the site, we've got an introductory video as an example. And then as we look through the page, not only do we have the updated CHUs and the rainfall exactly for that location on a weekly basis, we've got notes that are being taken by our team, either by the territory manager or by our agronomist, and we're updating those as well through the growing season to give folks an idea of what's happening or what has happened at that plot, and that'll stay live through the whole thing. If we go to a product, for an example, so we've got an Maizex 4040 DBR, which stands for Yield Guard Double Pro. What we see there is that we've got a gallery of photos that takes us right through from showing us from emergence through the different stages in the growing season. And I'd say one of the key benefits, John, when we look at this website and what we're doing, it really reflects the growing area. And so what you're seeing are unfiltered photos, unfiltered video. We're basically taking it in real time. If there's moisture stress, we're showing it, as we see in this plot as an example. So we're just trying to keep that updated through the entire growing season, and we're going to do that through to harvest and when we take the plots off. And then for each of these plots, John, we've got the products listed here with a photo gallery for each. And then if you go down to the bottom of that page, we've got profile sheets for each one of those products that we're profiling, which gives the maturity and some of the product features. So that the 4040 we just looked at, that would be a look at its product sheet, and then we can go through each of the products from there. And then there's a click here that we can take you to an additional product sheet. So really what we're hoping to do through this whole virtual plot tour is give the complete product experience from planting through until harvest. We'll show the yield results, and really giving you more than what you might see, for example, if we came to an individual plot tour day in August or September, when you're going to see that plot at a given point in time versus seeing it all the growth stages all the way through.
And that's what I was thinking, is you've got a, you have the different stages as you go. You've been able to show that, whereas if a farmer visited a plot, it would be right that point in time they'd be able to see.
That's right. So that's really what we're trying to showcase through virtualplottour.com. And so we've put a lot of time and effort into it. Our territory managers have done quite a bit. Karen Dunlop in our office doing the marketing support has been out and taken a lot of the photos and videos that we've used. Chuck Belanger, our agronomist. So it's been a real team effort to keep this updated through the growing season. And
what's the reaction been from farmers who haven't been able to experience the depth of crop plot tours that companies that usually would have put on?
So the initial response that we've gotten, we launched this a few weeks ago, has been very good. Very good from two perspectives, I'd say, from customers that have been on there, but we've also had really good feedback from our dealers, because our dealers are really our main sales force out across the country, and so this is a key tool that they're going to be using to relate our products to our customers as you go right across the country.
And a significant depth of information there compared to, I guess, an individual point of reference that a farmer might have, visiting a plot, just visiting a plot.
Yes, and so that is one of the reasons we put it together this way. The goal is to, obviously we've launched this for 2020 and related to a high risk COVID situation. But we see this type of a digital or virtual tour being something very key to us as we go forward into the future.
Right.
One other thing I'll point out, is also as you look at this site for more information, because we are showcasing our agronomy plots, and so we do have on our main page is the ability to subscribe to our agronomy news, which we send out through the year. So that's nothing that's product specific, really. It's just focusing in on agronomy research that we're doing to help our customers maximize their profits and yield potential.
And what I've tried to ask people in this the Innovative Showcase process, what was the process that you went to get to something that's innovative within your company?
Well, the process was really, we defined what the issue was, and so at the same time that we defined the issue, which was COVID was going to change the way that we could interact for this growing season and for the selling season going into 2021. And so you look at that as the issue, but then what is the opportunity that comes out of that? And so the opportunity was really to work together as a team and define what we wanted to accomplish. get input from our various stakeholders, including our dealers, in terms of what they were looking for a tool that could be used to work with our customers. And that allowed us to, essentially develop from scratch this whole virtual plot tour concept and framework and what we've implemented to this time.
And is there anything else you think the farmers should know about your virtual plot tour?
I think the virtual plot tour is just it's a conduit to all of the information that we've got to offer, not only from a product perspective, but also from an agronomy research perspective, because we do invest a great deal in agronomy research every year. Everything from populations, intensive management, nitrogen approach strategies, and so this virtual plot tour provides a means to share that information, but also to access the other information that we have on our website as we go forward. So, good.
Well, thank you for taking us through the site and in the process that it took you to get there. And thanks for being part of the Innovation Showcase.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity, and we wish the Outdoor Farm Show all the success this year in the virtual format as well.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Soil health is an increasingly important topic in farming, but there haven't always been the tools available to measure and evaluate progress. The Christian Farmers Federation has a new app called the Resilient Fields app that helps farmers make best management decisions relating to soil health. Paul Bootsma is CFFO's Field Service Manager, and he joins us today to tell us about the app. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, John.
So I think most people know what the CFFO is, but can you tell us quickly what role it plays in Ontario agriculture?
Sure. So it's one of the 3 accredited farm organizations in Ontario with the Ontario government, and we represent farmers across the province in all sectors of agriculture. And one of our main tasks is to be that communication link between the farmers and the government, and also give the government advice on agricultural policy for the province.
How would you describe the Resilient Fields app that you've submitted to the Innovation Showcase?
Yeah, so it's a user-friendly app that the individual farmer can use. It's confidential, so they can put their own information in there. And it's there to help them overcome the challenges of soil erosion and nutrient loss. So they can put the characteristics of of a specific field, so it's usable for each individual field. Put in the characteristics and the challenges, and then the app will direct them down to what would be considered the best management practice for that situation.
So how would a farmer make use of it on their farm?
So they would first have to determine what the challenge on the particular field is. The app comes with a lot of information that you can click onto it and read information on the particular challenges that they have. And then they need to identify what the solution they're in some sense are looking for. So if they're wanting to lessen soil erosion, then they have to put information like the slope, rainfall, soil types, etc., types of tillage methods that they use. And then as they fill that in and read the information that's there, the app will guide them towards a single solution.
And what was the need that you identified to create the app? I haven't heard of CFFO, doing a lot of apps. What was the need for this?
Yeah, so it was a little bit through new relationships, and I think particularly Charlie Lalonde, that this came about. It came as a result of our annual policy tour that we do with our districts across the province, where we take a specific subject. So we were talking about best management practices on the 2019 policy tour. And it just, as we worked on it, it developed into this. And so we ended up working along with Charlie Lalonde and Al Muscle, and we're able to put this together and have a useful tool, I think, for, down the road for future farmers to use.
And what makes it innovative compared to other similar products on the market, if there are any?
I think the app itself is fairly common, but it's the input that we put into it, the information that we put into it, and then the just the way it works with it's simple with drop down boxes. So as you go along, you narrow down the choices and you click onto a drop box, which takes you to the next step. And it's because of the concern for soil erosion, but specifically for nutrient loss. Particularly, of course, phosphorus into Lake Ontario, or sorry, Lake Erie.
Right.
There are other apps that are being worked on, and some are available, but this one is strictly for the soil loss and nutrient loss.
And how do you expect a farmer to put it to use in their operation? At what point will they make use of it?
As we've been developing this, we've been working along with the CCAs in Ontario. So they've been working with us along. The CCAs have been working with us along as we've been developing this. And we're also looking a little bit for some partners to help us promote it. The OFA has been part of it as well. So it's mostly through the CCAs that we've been getting this out there. There's quite a list of the CCAs that are part of it, that have contributed to the information that's on there. And the hope is that the farmers themselves will use the app along with their CCAs as they make tillage decisions.
And how is this product developed? I think this must be something relatively new for the Christian farmers.
Yeah, so along with it, we hired Joel. I can't pronounce his last name too well. But that's his work. He has a company that develops apps and programs like this. So he was hired to develop the app and put it all together, and we think it looks really friendly, user friendly. It's real simple. You can use it on your smartphone. You can use it on your office computer if you'd like, and so it's adaptable to everybody, whichever way they need to use it.
Okay, and what's been the reaction to it so far?
Our big launch was at the Outdoor Farm Show, which is now the Canada's virtual farm show. We are working with a number of farmers just to test it out. So it's not well known yet, and we were hoping that at the what's now the virtual farm show, that's where we would really launch it. It's great that it's part of the innovative section of the farm show, and that was the hope that that's where we would launch it and release it so people could play around with it, and then it would become part of the farmers' planning for the 2021 growing season.
And is there anything else that farmers should know about the app that we haven't talked about?
It's free, so there's no cost to them, and it's confidential. And you can, once you get down to the best management practices, you can print it out so you can keep it for your records. But otherwise, no. It's hopefully it's available by the beginning of January of next year, and then people can use it. So you would be basically going to your internet and clicking onto a link or a website, and away you go.
Good. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today and telling us what the Resilient Fields app.
Well, thank you. We'll see you, I guess, at the show.
That's right.